Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
We're following breaking news in West Charlotte. 2 people are dead after this crash on I-77 southbound near the LaSalle Street exit. This is a live look from the scene. Plus, a South Charlotte priest is in the hospital after police said someone attacked him outside his church. But first, heavy rain is headed toward Charlotte. This is a live look from our Speedway camera. We're using Charlotte's only local radar to pinpoint where the rain is falling and when it moves out. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Elsa Gillis.
And I'm meteorologist Vicki Graff.
We're in the Weather Center this morning because rain is the top story. It just won't stop.
Another unsettled weekend, in fact, the 3rd in a row, and I'm tracking some heavier rain just starting to push into uptown Charlotte. This is within 485, and we're seeing rainfall rates here at about 1 inch to maybe 1.5 inches per hour, closer to, I'd say, Pineville, Matthews, South Park, and it extends down towards Rock Hill right along I-77. It's going to be tough driving along I-77 right now with this heavy rain. This batch is moving north and east, heading towards the Arboretum in the next few minutes here. Eventually Matthews by 7:24, and then Blakeney, I'd say, by 7:40. More scattered downpours off to the west near Shelby, Gastonia. This line is moving northeast, also starting to see one developing across Lake Norman right now. And steady rain for the mountains. That's producing rainfall rates at about 0.5 inch per hour right along 321. But the mountains, that's where we had several inches of rain yesterday. Flooding is going to be a big issue today. As we head towards, I'd say, 8, 9 o'clock, that steady rain arriving in Charlotte, and then it will start to catch a break from west to east around midday today. Highs for today in the low 70s. I'll be showing you how long the sunsettle pattern will last coming up.
Now back to that breaking news in West Charlotte. At least 2 people are dead after this crash on I-77 southbound. This is a live look from our DOT camera near the LaSalle Street exit. You can see all of those flashing lights on the roadway there. They've closed 2 lanes as they investigate, so keep that in mind if you are driving in that area this morning. Now from our camera on scene, you can see a car to the right badly damaged. Troopers haven't said if weather played a role in this crash. As soon as we get any updates, we'll let you know on air and online at WSOCTV.com. Just a few hours ago, troopers reopened part of I-77 southbound in Huntersville after a serious crash. This is what it looked like last night around 9 p.m. near Gilead Road. Troopers say 2 people are hurt after a tractor-trailer crash, but it's not clear what caused the crash. This morning, a priest is in the hospital recovering after police say he was attacked in the parking lot of his South Charlotte church. CMPD says Father Steve Dahlber was assaulted Friday night outside St. Nectarius Greek Orthodox Church. That's on Kuykendall Road off of Providence Road. Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Tinoco spoke with church officials about the attack.
The priest is in stable condition, but he is expected to go through a few more tests. Now, this all unfolded right here in this church parking lot when the priest was looking for his cell phone before he was brutally attacked.
I was shocked
and shaken.
My mind also went to, was this some sort of targeted attack?
A 67-year-old priest, Father Steve Dahlber, was violently attacked in the parking lot of his parish in South Charlotte Friday night.
That was needless and senseless.
This man, 17-year-old William McCloskey, is now facing charges for assault and hit and run. 18 church leaders tell me the priest did not know.
It just makes me wonder what kind of people are out there that would attack a priest like that.
Father Dahlber is recovering from a broken arm and injuries to his back.
And you think of a church as being one of the safest places, and it's just a little bit unnerving when that comfort and safety is taken away.
We crime mapped the area and found in the last month there has only been 1 incident, a car theft reported within a half-mile radius of the parish. This attack has stirred up safety concerns among the church, but members are eager for the leader's return.
Father Steve, we miss you. We love you. We thank you for everything that you've done for our parish, and we can't wait to have you back.
The church has created a security task force to make their campus more secure, and they will be having conversations about adding cameras to their campus. Reporting in South Charlotte, Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The suspect in the case, William McCloskey, is set to face a judge tomorrow afternoon. He faces 3 charges this morning, including assault with a deadly weapon causing serious injury. If you want to send well wishes to Father Dalber as he recovers, you can visit WSOCTV.com. You'll see a link to the church's Facebook page and any updates to his condition. Happening tomorrow, a Catawba County man will face a judge accused of causing a deadly crash and taking off. Police say Jeffrey Bumgarner hit and killed Charles Shook Jr. yesterday morning on Highway 70 Southeast. You can see that's near the Hickory Motor Speedway. Bumgarner is charged with felony death by motor vehicle and DWI. In Rowan County, this man will face a judge for the first time tomorrow accused of killing a man in Salisbury. Deputies say Tadron Sanders shot and killed Gregory Yarborough on Gein Road Friday, then ran from the scene. They say when Sanders turned himself in yesterday morning, he also turned in the gun used in the shooting. Sanders is behind bars without bond. New developments overnight. Police identified the man who shot and killed 2 officers in Ohio Saturday morning and say it is not the first time they've dealt with him. Yesterday morning, authorities say officers Eric Joe Ring and Tony Morelli responded to a potential domestic situation at an apartment in Westerville, a Columbus suburb. When they got there, police say Quentin Smith fired shots at Joe Ring and Morelli from inside his apartment. Both officers died.
These were 2 of the best we have. This was their calling. And they did it right.
Other officers at the scene shot Smith. He is expected to be okay. Overnight, police said they've dealt with Smith several times since just last year. That includes a November incident where police say his wife asked about protection orders because she says he threatened to kill her, their daughter, and himself. Authorities say they're not sure why Smith opened fire on officers yesterday. Today, family and friends will remember these 3 people killed nearly 1 year ago in Richmond County. Police say Steve Smith is facing charges in the deaths of Latasha Durham, her mother, and her brother. Relatives told Channel 9 Smith and Durham had been in an abusive relationship for 20 years and she had just left him. Today's memorial service is set for 11 a.m. at Macedonia Church in Ellerbe. Right now, doctors are pleading with Americans, if you haven't gotten a flu shot yet, get one now. We told you yesterday, they say you can get the flu twice this season because of the different strains. And now doctors at Emory Heart Disease Prevention Center say the flu vaccine could lower the chance of having a heart attack. One study found the risk of a heart attack jumped 6 times within 1 week of coming down with the flu in people 35 and older. The vaccine may be as effective against heart attacks in the short term as quitting smoking.
Every single one of our patients who has heart disease, part of our process is to discuss a flu vaccine, not just to prevent the flu, but as a means of preventing a heart problem.
Officials say this flu season is considered the worst in a decade and is just as bad as the 2009 swine flu outbreak. In North Carolina, the flu has killed 140 people. In South Carolina, 106 people have died from the flu, including a child in the Midlands. Channel 9 is your source for this deadly flu epidemic, including the impacts on local hospitals, churches, and schools. You can find our complete coverage on WSOCTV.com. The FAA is investigating after a helicopter crashed near the Grand Canyon, killing 3 passengers and hurting 4 others. It says the helicopter was on a tour last night when it crashed near the Quartermaster Canyon. That's between the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas. These are photos of the crash damage, which the FAA says is a considerable amount. It is not clear what led to the crash. Happening tomorrow, people wanting to run for office in North Carolina can submit their applications to respective election offices at noon. They have through February 28th to hand in their paperwork. That includes positions like the Mecklenburg County Sheriff. The primary election is set for Tuesday, May 8th. Also happening tomorrow morning, a judge will sentence a former lawmaker in the South Carolina State House corruption probe. We've told you Representative Rick Quinn pleaded guilty in December to misconduct in office. Prosecutors say he took millions in unreported money from lobbyists for personal gain. Quinn is the 3rd lawmaker to plead guilty in the investigation. A teen is charged in a hit and run involving a Fort Mill school crossing guard. Police told Channel 9 Johnny Clifton from Charlotte hit crossing guard Gary Tate in front of Fort Mill Middle School Friday afternoon. Tate was rushed to the hospital. We're asking how he's doing this morning. Due process. That's what President Donald Trump is calling for after 2 staffers resigned in the wake of domestic abuse allegations. Yesterday, the president tweeted in part, "People's lives are being shattered and destroyed by a mere allegation." Speechwriter David Sorensen resigned Friday after his ex-wife accused him of violence and emotional abuse, and former aide Rob Porter resigned after 2 of his ex-wives accused him of domestic abuse.
We certainly wish him well. It's a obviously tough time for him. He did a very good job when he was in the White House.
Chief of Staff John Kelly is under fire for reportedly knowing about the allegations for months. Kelly made it clear to the president he's willing to resign if need be. Next week, people will gather for a rally against offshore drilling in South Carolina. The Post and Courier says the anti-drilling rally is set for Tuesday on the State House steps in Columbia. After that, the Bureau of Ocean and Energy Management will hold a public meeting. Last month, the Trump administration announced plans to vastly expand offshore drilling. The plan would open 90% of the nation's offshore drilling reserves to development by private companies. Governors of both North and South Carolina say they are against the plan. Taking a live look outside right now from our Charlotte cam, you can see those water droplets on the camera. It is raining out there today. Get out the umbrella. Meteorologist Vicki Graff has an update on your forecast from Severe Weather Center 9.
Good Sunday morning. We did see several inches of rain yesterday in the mountains, and this is where we have some flood watches in effect until tomorrow morning at around 7 o'clock. And that's where the steady rain remains. Ahead of it, I'm tracking some downpours just starting to move into the Charlotte area, and these are producing rainfall rates at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches per hour. That's going to make it tough to see on a lot of roads. If you have to be out early, take it slow. The best chance for rain today will be up until around midday, and then we'll start to see a little bit of a break. Still, at any point today, a few showers will be possible, and that rain ramps up again this afternoon. It's going to continue into early Monday. I'll advance Futurecast coming up to show you how long this unsettled weather will last. Elsa?
Changing America's infrastructure. At 7:45, the Carolina roads millions drive on each year that could be at the top of the list. Authorities are still investigating this deadly Amtrak crash in South Carolina. New at 7:30, the reason Amtrak will foot the bill, even if authorities say the company isn't at fault. And taking advantage of the winter weather, new and next, the scams targeting people turning up their heat and how you can protect yourself.